I wanted to tell you the story of a friend of mine named Angel. Angel is 19 and was honestly one of the brightest, cleverest, most bubbly people I've ever met. She was obsessed with true crime stuff and would have loved your channel if she'd ever had a chance to see your videos. She loved that TV program CSI and wanted to join the police so that she could get into the forensic side of investigations. She loved the idea of using science to catch horrible criminals, but we never thought that she'd end up being the victim of one. She had everything going for her in life, but then she met her ex-boyfriend, Che, and we all saw a change in her. Che made everything about him, and he abused Angel physically and mentally until she made everything about him too. She was miserable with him, but kept talking like he was just a tortured soul who needed a girl like her in his life to help fix him. We had to intervene time and time again to get her to see that he was a scumbag who'd never be any good for anyone, as he was only ever interested in himself. And it took ages to do it, but we finally managed to convince her to leave him. She told us all in a group chat that she'd finally told him that they couldn't be together anymore, and we were all so proud of her. But she also said that she was terrified of something he'd do to get back at her for it, and as much as we knew that her dad, Patty, would never let anything happen to her while she was under his roof, we knew he couldn't protect her all the time. We also knew that Che was absolutely terrified of Patty, as they'd almost gotten into fights a few times before, and Patty is well bigger than Che and could beat the life out of him if it came to it, so we always stayed away from the house, just not far enough. I remember the day we found out that Angel was in the hospital, and we were all hoping it wasn't anything serious. But then we heard that she'd been hurt in a serious incident, and that she'd somehow fallen out of a van that was going down the highway, and we just knew that Che had something to do with it. As it turns out, Che had gotten the help of one of his friends, and they'd waited in a van near Angel's house waiting for her to come out. When they spotted her, Che ran out, picked her up, then basically carried her to the van and threw her into the back of it. We still don't know exactly what went on inside the van, but Che insisted in court that he didn't just throw her out of it. But whatever he was doing or saying, it scared Angel so much that she somehow found a way to open the back doors as it was traveling down the highway, and she must have thought her only chance at survival was jumping out the back of the van. Some people think Che pushed her out of the back as a way to kill her, but at his trial, his lawyers were somehow able to prove that Che hadn't pushed her, and all he wanted to do was keep her inside the van. He must have admitted to just wanting to kidnap and scare her into getting back with him, but I know Angel wouldn't have done anything so drastic without being scared for her life. What happened next makes it clear to me that the justice system in this country is just completely broken, because the sentence Che got was nothing on what he deserved to get. He recently got his sentence more than doubled after this big public campaign headed up by her parents, which is all good and everything, but it still feels like nothing because Angel's life is basically over now. She suffered serious head trauma after falling or being pushed from the back of the van, and now the doctors think that she's going to be potentially disabled for the rest of her life. We don't know if she's ever going to walk, talk, or eat by herself ever again. It's basically a death sentence, but the sentence Che was originally going to get was just over 4 years. Can you even believe that? A guy kidnaps his ex-girlfriend. He might have actually thrown her out the back of the van going at 60 miles an hour. Her life is now basically over, and he was probably going to get out of prison after 4 years. That's nothing. He deserves to be in prison for the rest of his life. The driver of the van got next to nothing too, and he also deserves to be in prison for the rest of his life. Angel once told me about a law in America where if someone dies while you're committing a crime, your charge automatically gets turned into murder. And I think we should have one here like that too. It would make people think twice about doing things like kidnapping or drunk driving, or anything that could end up ruining someone's life. Sorry if this seemed to get a bit emotional, or it wasn't the best written story you've been sent. I got a bit upset writing it because it's still all so raw for us all. This all happened almost 2 years ago now, but it honestly feels like yesterday that we found out that Angel's life was over. I hope you read this out in one of your videos so that more people know what a rotten scumbag Che Boskill is. He deserves to be the one lying in a hospital bed, not able to move, not Angel. I mean, he actually laughed during the court case. How can you even do that? How evil do you have to be to hear someone talking about how you took a girl's life away and then just laugh about it? Please read this out so more people hear about Angel's story. People need to know that if a guy is a psycho, it's not up to them to fix him or help him, because they'll just end up as a victim.